Welcome to Seize the Mains by Malhotra's IS Academy. I'm Surbhi Sardana and this is season 3 of our daily answer writing initiative. This initiative is running in parallel with our website, which is rajisacademy.com. As you can see in the mains answer writing section, a list of questions has been uploaded, which we discuss one by one on our Seize the Mains initiative from Monday to Saturday. Whatever question and answer gets discussed here gets uploaded on the website on the same date. You have the facility to click on the link in the description that will take you to our website. Click on the mains answer writing section, read the sample answers, read the model answers to the question. These questions are in context of current affairs only. We have made Seize the Mains strictly with regards to current affairs. So 100% of the questions are with regards to current affairs only. Now what you can do is read the model answer, and after that in the comment section just try to write your own answer and post your own answer on the website. In the next 48 hours after you post your answer, our team will evaluate your answers entirely free of cost. So that's how this initiative runs. The topic for today is violence against women. This topic was taken in the social issues weekly current affairs session by Mr. Amanjot on our YouTube channel today. And with regards to that, a question has been framed. We do this every day. We discuss a topic at 2:30 p.m. on our YouTube channel, and that topic is related to a question which we discuss in Seize the Mains, and that completes your entire preparation. The topic studying part also, understanding also, and the answer writing part also. So that's how we move. Now, there has been a recent murder case of a 35-year-old woman. That was a very brutal murder and it shook the nation after and we've seen that violence against women is increasing. Some people say that more reporting is happening, but we see that the level of violence is also increasing, the intensity of violence is also increasing. So that's why this women empowerment, women's rights, violence against women, this is very important part of your syllabus. GS paper 1 society part, it comes under that. So this is going to be very important for your mains point of view and for you as a citizen of the country, as the citizen of this nation, that why do we have to resort to violence, what is the problem behind it, that chopping a body into so many pieces, to what is the cause behind it, and why do we see so many women being oppressed. I understand the other parts might also be true, the other sexes can also be oppressed, but here we are discussing women's rights because that is part of your syllabus. And let's see what is the question which we have framed for you. So this question is going to be a bit twisted, but the answers are always simple. In your UPSC question paper also, if you see a lot of twisted and long questions, their answers are mostly simple. If the answers are not simple, then that question is never understood by any of the aspirants or by majority of the aspirants. Then that question has been formed in a twisted way to just divert your attention from rest of the paper. So just take it that way only, in a twisted format only, and do your best whatever you can. So this appears to be a long question. Let's read it out first and then let's see how do we write the answer to this. So despite innumerable efforts by the government and civil society etc. to empower women, the violence against women hasn't gone down. What according to you are the reasons for the high number of incidents of violence against women in India? Is there a way out? They are asking you solutions. And discuss this entire answer. This discuss is not just with regards to solution, but discuss the entire answer means discuss all aspects of it, whatever you are writing. Just do not give an objective answer, a one-line answer, answer in 250 words and discuss the answer. Put light on all the aspects of the situation. So as we always do, we start with an introduction. Here we are talking about violence against women, so I recommend that you have some data at hand. Maintain a data sheet whenever you are studying editorials nowadays. Violence against women or women empowerment is very much in news, so you will see a lot of data floating. Take some data of National Crime Research Bureau, NCRB, National Crime Response Bureau, NCRB data, or National Commission for Women. Any constitutional body, any statutory body, or any good quality NGO that is releasing some data and that gets covered in the newspaper, just take it and note it in your data sheet or in a notebook where you compile all the data, because that is one such source that will help you immensely in your mains answers. So in the introduction, we'll talk about violence against women, why is it happening? Briefly we'll write about it because the question is asking us about reasons. So we do not want to lose our lose our content in the introduction itself. We need to save some content for the body paragraph also. So have some data here, have some report here, and briefly highlight the issue in the introduction. Then after that we'll move on to the further parts of the question. Introduction is very crucial to your answers. So India has been infamously regarded as one of the most unsafe places for women. See, here the question is violence against women. So we will not define violence against women. We start our answers with definitions sometimes when the definition is required. But violence against women doesn't require a definition. Here there is no legal definition. There are a lot of acts, plus this is not a polity or governance question. This is a society question. So we will focus on the society part of it. India has been infamously regarded as one of the most unsafe places for women. Data shows a consistency year-on-year rise in crime against women in India. Some common forms of violence against women are rape, dowry deaths, female infanticide, forced child marriage, abduction, cases of acid throwing on women, etc. So first of all, you have talked about the society part of it. You've talked in context of India, that what is the status of violence against women in India. Then you have kind of explained what constitutes violence against women and what forms of violence is happening in India. So you have explained here some common forms of violence. So here, after this first two lines, it becomes very clear that you understand the situation, you understand the depths of situation and the technicalities of it. So now we'll proceed with data that it has been estimated that only 1 out of the 10 victims of physical, emotional or sexual violence from intimate partners reports the offence. So this is one of the data. You can resort to writing data about from NCRB also. The poor reporting is primarily because of women's low position in our patriarchal society, especially in India's vast hinterland. First of all, reporting authorities are not always available. Secondly, the position of women in our society is always that of an oppressed person or that of a commodity. Ki wo, women are treated like property of their husbands, their fathers. That is, that is a general perspective that we are talking about. Obviously, this does not apply to all families or all women out there. So, but when you have to write, you will have to talk about Indian society in general, which we define as patriarchal, which we have seen. The majority of the population has this patriarchal mindset, especially in India's vast hinterland. So, because of that patriarchal mindset, the position of women in the family or in the society is that of an oppressed person, somebody who's dependent on somebody else financially, emotionally, physically, even for basic shelter and food. So, yes, and that keeps them from reporting the crimes. Now, what are the reasons that will constitute your body paragraph 1, because that was asked in our question. What according to you are the reasons for the high number of incidents of violence against women? So what are the reasons? Very shortly we'll write about the reasons. What you can do here is make a flow chart here like this, or go to take the vertical flow chart approach. Write down reasons here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up to 10, whatever reasons you have, and define it in one line, or give some data in one line with regards to it, or example with regards to it in one line. Or if you do not have explanations, make sure your reasons are long enough. They're not just 2-word reasons. They should be long enough. There should be enough descriptive nature in your answer, descriptive side in your answer. So let's see what are the reasons. Obviously, we'll start with the society point of view, then we'll move on to the other aspects. Discriminatory social, cultural or religious laws, norms and practices that marginalize women and girls and fail to respect their rights. So first of all, their rights are not respected, and why they are not respected? Because we have discriminatory social, cultural and religious laws, and we are not a country that is run by the constitution alone or the laws alone. Our practices, our beliefs, what we do on a daily basis, that is very much controlled by our religions, our beliefs, our faiths, what we follow. So that also has to be taken into account. So that becomes a point here. Second one is gender stereotypes are often used to justify violence against women. For example, in a household itself, if you have seen some daily soaps, sometimes it is the violence is not by a man, that man on a woman. Sometimes it is by the elder woman on a younger woman, or by a younger woman in the family on a old woman. So gender stereotypes are there which are resorted to as justifications of that violence. There is collapse of family, social and communal structures, and disrupted roles within the family often expose women and girls to take risk and limit coping mechanism and avenues for protection and redressal. Collapse of family structure and other social and communal structures. See, when the structure of a family is not right, for example, if one of the parent is cheating on on the other parent, or the parent itself is abusive towards kids or to the other partner, so that is where your family collapses, and there is no refuge that these girls or these children can take, because the social and communal structure has also come down. We do not live in joint families in many areas, so no refuge is available. So what happens, these women are exposed to very risky environments, whether at workplace or at their own houses. That is the reason. Lack of access to justice and delayed justice also, that is a problem. Lack of adequate and affordable legal advice and representation. Good advocates, good lawyers, they charge a lot. Even though pro bono cases are compulsory for some of the advocates, you have this NALSA is there, National Legal Services Authority is there, which provides free legal aid to women. But again, there are a lot of women whose cases are being handled by NALSA. So that is a problem, that justice is not adequate and affordable, plus it is so time consuming. It decreases, or it just destroys the image of a woman if she reports violence of any kind to a police authority or to a court. And since the justice gets delayed, that time between when she reports and when the justice is actually delivered, that time period is very long, and it is very hard to sustain for that time, financially, physically and mentally. Then lack of adequate victim or survivor and witness protection mechanisms. Sometimes if the partners, or if women have faced violence, physical violence or sexual violence, even if they report it, they're not safe, because where do they go? They go back, where do they go? Go back to their initial families, or to their partner's house, or a friend's house. So these places are not safe. They do not have their own accommodations. And what is the reason? Because many women in our country, they are not financially independent. They are not taught and raised to own their own houses, or build their own houses, or have their own careers, or have good paying jobs, which keeps them independent for the rest of their life. What they're taught is that when you grow up, you have to be married off to a guy who's financially stable, or who will take care of you. And once all that falls, being pushed out from the previous family and not being regarded well in the family in the front, the receiving family, then women are stuck, because they are left without any protection. Then there is inadequate legal framework, including national, traditional, customary and religious laws that discriminate against women and girls. Most of the times these laws are not even understood by women. They do not even know about their rights. Then you have this threat or fear of stigma, which which leads to further violence. The woman is not able to take a stand. Women are not able to take a stand after first incidents of violence, and that perpetuates crime. That sends a message to the person who is doing all these acts, that yes, this person is weak and I can do whatever I please. Lack of information about human rights, on how and where to seek remedies, that is obviously there. Social conditioning. Now this is a CSR journal that has shown that 40% women who actually face violence at home, they justify it. They feel that it is a part of life, it is a part of their marriage or relationship, or in whatever relation they are, that it is a part of their life, and they do not report it. They just discuss it amongst their friends, or they do not discuss it at all, because social conditioning has been such. It has been in a very abusive manner, and they're always asked to adjust. Then coming to the solutions part of it, that is your body paragraph 2. Is there a way out? So yes, there is always a way out. What are the solutions? First of all, this has been suggested by the first IPS officer of India, first woman IPS officer of India, that a social audit, state-wise social audit is very much necessary. Go to the houses, talk to women, talk to children, that what is the frequency of violence that occurs in your houses, talk to their children, talk to the women one to one, and create a social audit, have a social audit state wise and district wise on all parameters, pattern of violence and inside the violence. Create statistics about violence. Only then, when you understand the problem, only then you can find solutions to it. Right now we do not even understand the problem. Earlier we thought that it was, violence was just something that was happening in families which are not educated, which have not received education. Then we thought that women are not earning enough or are not financially independent, that's why they are weak at the hands of violence or the perpetrator of violence. But now we have seen that even this happens even in educated families, very highly educated families, in all classes, not just the poor, middle, lower middle, even the upper classes as well. That's a very high form of violence, very intense form of violence that happens there. Also it happens with women who have their own jobs, who are financially independent. So you need to look at the issue with a totally new perspective, that what is the new development that we can bring. Then you need to have gender based legislation. Yes, the legislations in our country are very strong, but again you have the problem of having good attorneys which are affordable, having good advocates to fight your case which are affordable. Financial independence, this will always remain a solution, because we are not a very rich country that money is available in abundance in all the houses. Financial independence is something that is needed, because that gives you a stand and say in whatever relation you are, whether it's your own family, it's your own parents, or it's your in-laws, anybody. Then developing and resourcing national plans and policies to address violence against women. Yes, National Commission for Women, Ministry of Women and Child Development, that has brought a lot of initiatives, but there is no end to it. We cannot put a full stop on the initiatives also. Then improve system of collecting crime surveillance data on violence against women. And yes, helpline numbers, that is something you can add here. A lot of helpline numbers have been started in many developed cities, many planned cities, but in many cities, many towns, many small towns and villages, helpline numbers are not available. Capacity building and training to service providers and law enforcement officers to handle cases of violence against women, basically sensitization. Then you need to have male mediated initiatives, because women are at the receiving end, but the perpetrators of violence, they are men in many cases, and men have to be taught only by the men that how to treat a woman. So ensure male involvement in devising program for abusers. Prevent reoccurrence of violence. Even if a small case of violence, physical violence gets reported by a woman, be very vigilant, because in the upcoming times the aggression level in a family or in a house could grow, and more cases of violence can occur. Promote egalitarian gender norms as part of life skills and comprehensive sexuality education. Very important here. Whatever sexuality education we have in India, that comes from the peer group, or for this new generation, the Gen Z, it comes from your social media websites or whatever internet is providing you with. So that content that might not be appropriate for the age, so that education has to be provided in schools itself. We cannot ignore it anymore. So yes, we have discussed about the solutions also. I'm sure there must be more solutions coming to your mind, more problems also. Post them in the comment section. If not in the comment section, write the model answer and post it on the website. Add more solutions to it. In the conclusion, what we have here is we need to summarize. Summary part is not needed here. What you need is a way forward. That have a basic solution that gives a umbrella coverage to all the solutions that you've given. So above all, it's the awareness generation and raising children to become liberal and respecting individuals that can bring real change. Having liberal and respecting individuals that can bring change. Violence against women not just results in the infringement of their fundamental rights, we've written just article 21 here, which is right to life, but of their basic right to exist as independent humans in a country. Being born in a country, being raised as independent, being able to breathe, it infringes all those rights, and that is not something that any human being deserves. Also, I'm again repeating, violence happens on both the ends, but yes, the more percentage is tilted towards women, majority percentage is tilted towards women. That's why it is part of our syllabus, and that's why we are discussing this. Now visit our website rajayesacademy.com. The link is present in the description. read the entire model answer, post your answers to it on the website, and I'll see you with another discussion tomorrow. Stay tuned.